15 women have accused him of sexual assault. We've heard about the Stormy Daniels story, that he allegedly paid $130,000.
Were you pissed that she canceled on your show?
I was. Only because, we're a very supportive environment for women. I mean, I think any guest will tell you.
She made a remark so electrifying that the entire studio froze. In a single moment, Sunny Hostin turned an ordinary debate on The View into a seismic event that sparked an eruption of audience backlash. Was it a passing slip of the tongue, or something more revealing about her mindset? No one could have predicted that the studio, generally known for its enthusiastic energy, would unleash a wave of boos more intense than anyone had ever heard. This wasn't just another heated segment. It was a turning point with far-reaching consequences.
He taught me, all the mathematical tables, and by the time I got into third grade, the teacher said, she's just passed all the standardized tests up to 12th grade.
In the days since that fateful broadcast, rumors have run wild about what triggered such a swift, heated rejection by the usually loyal crowd. Some blame the mounting tension over national politics, while others suspect a deeper resentment building against Sunny herself. The View has always thrived on lively discourse, but rarely does it spawn an outright revolt among fans in the stands. This time, however, the mood shifted faster than anyone anticipated, leaving fellow co-hosts like Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar grasping for a way to quell the escalating chaos. Sunny's controversial statement centered on how certain demographic groups had chosen to align politically. While she didn't explicitly reference race at first, the insinuation was enough to spark uproar. Mere seconds after her remark, viewers in the live audience started shouting, their disapproval echoing across the set. Producers flinched, uncertain whether to cut to commercial or let the moment play out. It was raw television drama at its finest, and for Sunny, possibly the worst instance of on-air embarrassment in her tenure with the show. Amid this uproar, another wave of trouble crashed down on Sunny's personal life. Reports surfaced that her husband, Emmanuel, was under federal investigation for a potentially staggering insurance fraud scheme valued at an estimated $500 million. According to whispers in legal circles, the allegations revolve around his medical practice, with claims suggesting he billed for services not rendered and partnered with questionable third parties. If proven true, this could mean decades of prison time. The dissonance between her fiery on-air persona and her husband's legal issues quickly fueled public outrage. Social media was quick to pounce on every snippet of leaked information about Sunny's husband. Posts ranged from genuine confusion, how could a high-profile figure be entangled in such a massive scheme, to outright condemnation. Hashtags calling for Sunny's immediate departure from The View began circulating, and self-proclaimed insiders, claimed ABC executives, were quietly discussing her future on the show. While these rumors remain unverified, their sheer volume underscores the precarious position she finds herself in. A co-host battered by audience rejection on one side, and a spouse entangled in legal drama on the other. For Sunny, the backlash carried a bitter irony. She had spent years cultivating an image of being a champion for the underdog, consistently voicing her perspective as a former prosecutor and a woman of color in a predominantly white media space. Yet, the moment she employed pointed language about certain voting blocks, the audience erupted. Some viewers argued that she was merely calling out hypocrisy in the political realm, while her fiercest critics denounced her comments as divisive and unfair. The real-time feedback in the studio was impossible to ignore. As the booing intensified, fellow panelists exchanged anxious glances. Whoopi, often the anchor of calm amidst controversy, seemed momentarily unsure of how to steer the conversation. Joy tried to jump in, but the audience noise drowned out her words. By the time they did cut to commercial, the tension in the room was suffocating. Just when it seemed like things couldn't worsen for Sunny, the story about Emmanuel's alleged $500 million scheme broke in sensational headlines. Federal documents hinted at questionable billing practices, with large sums of money exchanging. Hands under dubious circumstances. Insiders close to the case suggested that officials had been investigating for months, quietly building their evidence. The timing of the media leak couldn't have been more damaging. Viewers who were already infuriated by Sunny's televised remarks now had a fresh reason to question her credibility and perhaps her judgment in a partner. In the wake of these back-to-back bombshells, the View's online community exploded. Twitter and YouTube were flooded with clips replaying the moment Sunny got booed, with countless users dissecting every syllable of her controversial commentary. Some longtime fans pleaded for the public to give her the benefit of the doubt, insisting her remark was taken out of context. Others argued that she had revealed a harsh bias, and that the audience's reaction was not only justified but necessary. Middle ground observers lamented the rise of polarized views, pointing out that rational debate had been lost to instant outrage. What makes this incident stand out is the confluence of her personal life's upheaval with an on-screen meltdown of sorts. While co-hosts in the past have managed to survive audience scorn, rarely has there been a parallel scandal involving a massive legal crisis in a family. Speculations about insurance fraud conjure up images of shadowy deals and elaborate cover-ups, a stark contrast to the upbeat chatter that typically defines daytime talk. For audiences who watch Sunny portray herself as an ethical, outspoken advocate, the revelations about her husband introduced a jarring contradiction. Industry insiders have started whispering about possible next steps. Some say Sunny might double down on her stance, refusing to apologize or walk back her words, hoping her supporters will rally. Others believe an apology might be imminent. There are also mutterings about a potential hiatus, giving her time to address her husband's legal troubles and let public outrage cool. ABC, mindful of the show's ratings and brand, reportedly has an interest in preventing further fallout. After all, The View's success hinges on a delicate balance. Robust debates that spark headlines, but not at the cost of alienating loyal viewers. Amid all this, the question remains, is Sunny Hostin prepared to fight for her seat at the table, or has she already grown weary of the constant scrutiny? She has weathered disagreements before, but never such a pointed rejection from the live audience. Some social media commentators suggest she might opt for a graceful exit, avoiding further career damage. Others believe she'll stand her ground, maintaining that her perspective and voice are invaluable to discussions on race, class, and politics. No official statement has clarified her intentions, leaving fans and critics alike waiting in suspense. Viewers who once tuned in for a lively exchange of viewpoints now find themselves engrossed in a real-life drama involving a personal scandal, a furious audience, and a co-host seemingly at a crossroads. The tension reveals how quickly a televised moment can metastasize into a full-blown cultural flashpoint. While some argue that Sunny is simply facing the consequences of her own words, others claim she's being unfairly singled out for saying what many are afraid to vocalize. In a media landscape driven by hot takes and fast judgments, the space for nuanced conversation appears to be shrinking. Right now, the spotlight remains fixed on Sunny Hostin as both an outspoken commentator and a spouse entangled in controversy. The next steps are anyone's guess. Will she address the audience booing directly and clarify her stance? Or will silence further stoke public speculation? How will her husband's alleged involvement in a massive insurance fraud case affect her credibility and impact The View's reputation? Ultimately, the show's producers, network executives, and viewers will all weigh in on her fate, often in unpredictable ways that hinge on ratings, public sentiment, and the unpredictability of daytime television. For now, the world waits to see if Sunny can stage a comeback or if the tide has shifted irrevocably. The stage that once celebrated her insights has become a symbol of betrayal for those who felt alienated by her remarks. And looming over everything is the possibility of a colossal legal battle that could envelop her family in headlines for months, if not years to come. Whether this drama ends in a reconciliation, a resignation, or a renewal, one thing is clear: The View will never be the same. What's your stance? Did the audience overreact, or was Sunny's statement truly out of bounds? Share your take, because this saga is far from over. Stay absolutely tuned. The weeks ahead might reveal twists unseen. Remember, even the brightest stars can hide the most fragile hearts. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and join me next time for more untold moments behind the fame.